Alright, got the Tavor 9mm, shooting 158 grain Fiocchi and 147 grain Browning BPT. Osprey 45, this is a Sig Romeo 5, 25 yards, 0. It's been pretty accurate so far. I'm going to shoot it like this, and I'm going to switch it to 5.56 and see if the 0 is pretty far off. Kind of get a bolt bounce sensation when it locks open. Kind of that's how it talks to you. And the blowback setup here, I haven't shot it in 5.56 yet, but we're going to find out. Let's go see how it groups. So predominantly here I need to come down a couple, come right maybe one or two. That's that Romeo 5 is a half MOA adjustment per click. So just about 4 and 4, I guess. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is switch this over to 5.56. This is the 5.56 parts. Got the bolt carrier group, all that stuff, the barrel wrench, the ejection cover, and the 5.56 brass deflector. First thing we're going to do, make sure it's empty. It's empty. Go ahead and take the can off. Alright, put that in there. Now what you do, go ahead and pop these this pin back here out. Take the bolt out. Sometimes it didn't want to come out, so the trigger's in there. There we go. That's the 9mm bolt. Set that aside. There it goes.
I'm fixing to head out. The two larger targets.
Alright, so that's all out. Now we're going to take the rail on the top off. It's got these two Allen head screws. Don't want to lose the washer underneath it. I've mounted my red dot forward of the front screw so that I don't have to remove it every time I do this. It'll just hinge off from the front. It's got a little lip on the front that it hinges on. Kick the screws in that. Then you take out this QD port, screw on the other side. Sorry by hand. Put a little pressure on it. There it goes. Put that right there. I'm going to take the bottom rail off. Those top screws, by the way, are a 5/32. There's a Phillips. Took that out. Bottom hinges on that little piece right there underneath this. Now this will slide forward. There we go. And just piece comes off with the charging handle. Now you just take the barrel out. So use your barrel wrench tool right here. I'll go on that. The white line's pointing at lock. You got to point that to unlock, open. And you have to push this tab up right here. So I got this small punch. Press that over like that so that tab comes up and clears the receiver. I'll go ahead and stick this in here. So this will be pointing up when it's in the right position. Push this to guide down. Once you get started, you can let go of that. Simply up in there, rotate it, point up now, and you just pull the barrel out to the front. That's a 9mm barrel. Set that aside. Now we're going to take off the ejection port. Brass deflector. This is a 9/64. Comes right out of there. Now I gotta pop these two pins out that hold the magazine blocking for the 9mm magnet. For that, I'm going to use a 1/8 inch punch. They're not in there real hard. I'll go ahead and put these back in. Don't lose those. Then you just push the magazine release in, and that mag block comes right out. Alright, so that's done with that part. Go ahead and get these put up so I don't lose them. Those in there. Right now, that's the ejection port thing, and the 556 brass deflector. Go ahead and pull the screw all the way out of here. Oh, there we go. Now you take this guy. It just goes in here. Comes from the front, squeeze them together. It'll just pop in there. Make sure it's all seated good. The 556 deflector goes in there. So this doesn't have that centerpiece like this one does, so that keeps this open and pressed into the grooves that it sits in. There's my screw for it. Put that back in there. Tighten it down. Alright, till now. Done with that. I'm going to go ahead and put the 556 barrel in. It has the flash hider on it. And you just slide it in the front here. Like that. It's in there. Put it back to the lock position. You'll hear it click in on the other side here. There it is. 556 barrel is now locked in. Now I'm not necessarily following a certain order at this point, but I'm going to go ahead and put the trigger group back in. Alright. 556 bolt and carrier, all that good stuff. Pop this guy in here. Then we'll put the trigger in, like I said that earlier. Just goes into the bottom. I know I'm out of frame right now. But yeah, you just stick that in the bottom there. Close that. Put your pins in. It's in there now. Now for the charging handle. slide it through. So this is what happens when you're an ASVAB waiver. I initially tried to install the charging handle plate, whatever you want to call it, upside down, flipped it over, got it upside right, and then I had the lug in front of the barrel plate that it hinges off of to help you initially open the bolt. So you gotta make sure that that's installed behind it, or you're gonna run into this issue here. So just bear that in mind. And I actually off camera went back and converted it back to 9mm before I left the range that day, and screwed it up again. So just be cognizant of that when you're doing this. That's why it wasn't wanting to go on earlier. Alright, send over there on this side. There we go. Alright, now it's in there right. That's how it's supposed to move. Now I'm going to stick this back in here like I said before. Alright. Little piece fell away from me. Come on. Oh shit. There we go. So true story, this is my first time actually doing this. I bought the rifle when it was set up in 9mm left-handed, so I went and switched it back to right-handed after I got home. And I've just shot 9mm ever since, but this will be my first time actually shooting it in 5.56. So this is easier than I'm making it look right now. 5.56 bolt again. There we go. There it is. Awesome. Barrel's locked in. Cool. Set that in there. Don't need that right now. I'm going to put our foregrip back on, then we'll put the top rail on, we'll be done. Holes line up. Your hearing protection for this one now. I'm going to put this barrel back in there. Done with that for now. Done with my punches. Done with I need that one. Then I'm going to take my top rail, hinge it on the front. Now, I never took the screws completely out, they're just in the rail. There we go. Tighten them down. Alright, do a function check coming down range. It works. Now we're going to shoot it. Alright, now we're going to shoot 5.56. I've got a Tapco mag here. Make sure it works. It came with a P mag, I've got a bunch of those. See that? 25. It's 0 for 9mm right now. I imagine it'll be close. gassy. It's not even suppressed. This would probably not be a good suppressor host in 5.56. It does really well with the 9mm, but this is a long stroke gas piston system. I think the gas is actually venting out right in here, and it's getting in my mouth actually. Go see how it did. Apparently shooting right here. It's a pretty good group. It's just way the hell off. So this is my last grouping I shot with 9mm, and then I went back and adjusted it off camera and then shot a couple more, and you see one hit right dead center there. It groups really well. Having such a horrible trigger. I did take the second trigger reset spring out, and it did lighten it to probably about 8 pounds. I don't know, but we'll see. Alright, so I just got through shooting this thing in 5.56 for the first time. Just put 2 magazines through it. The barrel's pretty hot. Shoots really well. I think I like it in 9mm more. It is pretty gassy in the 5.56. Even in suppressed. The 9mm suppressed doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't use the gas system up here. It's all just a straight blowback right here. And of course your face is right here, but it's not really an issue. And with 115 grain, 147 or 158 grain, different manufacturers using different powders, it doesn't gas me out. But this 5.56, I just shot some PPU. That's not it. Monarch PPU, same thing, 223, 55 grain, and it's gassing me out pretty good. But yeah, it shoots well. It grouped really well. 25. I didn't go back and change the 0. I primarily am going to use this in 9mm. And they do use Colt pattern magazines. Only have one for it right now. But yeah, I'm happy with my purchase. I am going to put a Geisley trigger in this. I've heard the Timneys have light primer strike issues. I don't know anything about the Tab D. I've seen like an initial video on when it came out, but I haven't seen any reviews on it. I don't know what they cost either. I imagine they'll probably come in about the same price as the Geisley, which is proven, so wouldn't make sense for me to get something cost the same that's not proven like the Geisley. So I imagine that's what most people have done. And Geisley also does make a different trigger shoe you can use up here. Of course, you know, the trigger replacement itself is extremely easy. Yeah, this is the Romeo 5. Same thing I got on my KSG. It's a very crisp red dot. It's held a 0 on the KSG, which I zeroed with slugs, and that was unsuppressed. And it didn't change the point of impact at all. I don't imagine that would ever be an issue with 5.56 or 9mm. I imagine if you want to go back and forth between the two calibers all the time, you would not need to install the 2 roll pins that go into the magazine block. You could just stick this in there. But if you do that, the only thing that's actually keeping the block in is the actual magazine release. So just bear that in mind. Maybe when you pull the magazine out, see where I put the magazine. Pull it out with your finger here and like do this so that you're not pulling the block out too. We'll see where they line up right there. And that blowback action gets really dirty. I'm shooting pretty high quality clean ammo. Fiocchi, Browning, Monarch, Magtech, PPU, same thing. So yeah, I'll keep it updated.